Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. So we only have 2 weeks left of English 109, which is kind of crazy, right? So I want to talk about those briefly here. I'm recording this a little bit early, so hopefully you've turned in the assignments over Thanksgiving break. You'll notice that week 8 is open up to you right now, but finals week is not. Unfortunately, we cannot open finals week up early. That's kind of a college rule that we have to keep it closed until it is the week of finals. So it will open up Sunday, December 4th, though, so you can start working on things Sunday if you want. So I want to talk about just the things that we have going on this week. We'll click on the overview here in just a second. Look at it, and there are 3 assignments to complete for week 8. So let's go ahead and look at the weekly overview. So you do have the lecture video for this week, and we have one more chapter which talks about argumentation. So make sure that you read that argument chapter. It is chapter 15 on page 305 to 325. And then you'll have the discussion forum, the thesis outline, and the textbook activity. So lots of fun stuff, right? All fun stuff set to go. So there is that for the week, and I'll post the lecture video on here as soon as I get it recorded. As far as the discussion forum this week, I wanted to kind of this is our last discussion forum for a grade. So we'll talk about next week a little bit. We'll have an extra credit discussion forum next week, but this is our last discussion forum for a grade. I really like this topic. It's an older video. It's about 8 years old, so you would think it'd be out of date, but it is still a problem that is pretty prevalent even today. So it's John Oliver's look at food waste. I like John Oliver. I think he's hilarious. But he does an argument. Basically, he takes an argument essay about food waste and makes it into a video. So this is kind of a cool way for you to see an argument paper that's been transformed into a video format. So the video is a little bit longer, so make sure you allot yourself about half an hour. It's not half an hour long. It's about like 15, 20 minutes. But you give yourself half an hour to watch the video, and you can go back and look at it if you need to. And then there are 3 questions that I want you to answer about this video. Question 1, what are some ways in which we can combat the issue that Oliver argues in the video itself? You can list examples from the video. Question 2, considering where we are location-wise, are there any problems that could occur with the solution suggested in the first answer? And once you watch the video, you'll understand that question. And then finally, how does Oliver craft his argument through the video, and how can we connect it back to our own writing? So how did he make an argument essay into a video, and how he structured his video? What can we take from that when we write our own argument essays? So those are kind of the 3 questions I'd like for you to answer. You have to respond to at least 3 of your peers, and do that by Sunday evening. So that is the discussion forum that's due this week. You'll notice in next week, we don't have a discussion forum for a grade. We actually only have 2 assignments for a grade, but you do have an extra credit discussion forum that's worth 25 bonus points. So you can get up to 25 bonus points from the extra credit discussion forum next week. And we'll talk about it. I've got one more video to do. It'll be out here it'll be on here Sunday, and so you all will be able to see it then, right? But the other assignments we have is your thesis and outline for paper 4, and we'll click on paper 4. And so basically, this thesis for paper 4, it's an argument paper. So there's lots of topics you can choose for this paper. It's essentially just arguing something that you feel very passionate about. Now, I will say with this video, and I will know if you watched this video or not, because I'm going to tell you 2 topics you absolutely cannot do for this paper, or that I do not want you to do. You will have a very hard time getting a good grade from me if you choose these topics. I will go ahead and tell you that. The first topic is, please do not write about legalizing marijuana. I have been a teacher for a decade. I've read so many papers on legalizing marijuana, and it is a moot point in Illinois because it's legal. So don't write about it. Unless you have found some crack thing that you want to talk about, like how they should criminalize it or make it not legal, or that it's causing certain things. If you want to write about that, absolutely. But if you're just trying to argue that we should legalize marijuana, you've already won because it's legal in Illinois. So please do not write about that topic. I've read so many papers on it, and I don't want to read any more. But the other topic is, I do not want papers on abortion. I have had in one semester 15 papers about abortion. I've read so much about it, I'm just tired. I don't want to talk about it anymore. There's so many other topics that you can write about, that you can find other legal issues to talk about. You can write about other things, but I do not want a paper on abortion. I do not want a paper on legalizing marijuana. Those are the 2 topics that I hear so much about, and it's always the same thing. There's no new argument, no new research. It's just the same stuff, the same sources, and I'm just kind of over it. So you can find more creative topics that you can write about. If for some reason you don't watch this video and you choose that as your topic, I'm probably going to count off a lot on your thesis outline, and I'm going to tell you to pick a different topic. So just know that going in. Pick a different topic. There's so much you can talk about and argue for, and it doesn't have to be major issues. You can argue lots of different things. It can be something local, like if there's a local issue in your community that you really feel passionate about, you can argue about that. It doesn't have to be a big widespread issue. It can be something as simple as like something happening in your community that you want to talk about, or if there's a problem in your community you feel strongly about, or if there's something socially that you feel like we should be talking about. You can talk about that as well. You pretty much have free reign, but those two topics are so overdone and there's not any new research on them. I don't want them talked about. I think you can do better. I think you can find a better topic to talk about for your final paper. So you do have to pick an argument topic. On chapter 15, there's a whole chapter about argumentation and kind of picking topics. Remember, this is not like, it's not like Facebook. You're not just yelling at someone in your paper or saying I'm right, you're wrong. An argument paper, the idea is to prove that you are right and to not prove that your audience is wrong, but to try to persuade them to agree with you. And so the best way to do that is to find credible research from good sources that you know are credible. They have facts. They're not just like a Facebook post or a random tweet, right? You need to find a credible sources that are credible. You need to also frame it to where you're not yelling at your audience, but you are just trying to persuade them. You're trying to give them all the facts, give them the data, give them your opinion, but frame it in a way that's professional and respectful, right? And then it needs to be 3 full pages, double spaced. It can be longer. Most of these papers, I will say most students that write the argument paper, they end up longer than 3 pages because they get really passionate about it, which is cool. But also you need to be mindful of like your resources and what you do. So the breakdown of the points is exactly the same as the other 3 papers. You will not get a chance to revise this paper. So this will be the only draft of it that you submit. So try to do your best these next 2 weeks to make sure this paper is the best that you can make it, because you won't get a chance to revise it. Once you turn it in, it is turned in. So the outline, therefore, should be pretty full. It should have like your introduction, your thesis, what you're going to talk about, your points, and detail. Like several of you done a really good job on the outline this semester. Some of you are still not doing the outline exactly correct. So hopefully frame it like this. I put this here for a reason so that you have a model that you can go off of, right? But I am really curious to see your topics. I've read lots of great argumentation papers over the years that have had a variety of like really interesting topics. I've had students write about like banned books. I've had students write about like, they basically took like their comparison and contrast like on union and non-union and wrote about unions. So that was cool. I've had students write about stuff happening in their community that they felt strongly about, like about, you know, food shelters, about like food insecurity, about like different things, like student loan debt's popular right now. You can write about it. I've had students write about immigration. I've had students write about gun control. I've had students write about like a variety of different things. I just don't want to hear about abortion or legalizing marijuana. Heard enough. I've read enough. I want something more exciting. And then finally, the last assignment is this textbook activity. I've kept it pretty simple for you all this week. Activity 3 is just asking you to rewrite the sentences and add commas and quotation marks where they're needed. This part of the assignment will actually be worth 10 points, even though there's only 5 questions. There's going to be 2 points per question. And then this one is going to be find the 2 incorrect spellings in each sentence and write them below. So this textbook activity should be should be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but we do have to have one more textbook activity. So I want you mainly to focus on your argument paper and the discussion forum this week, but this should take you no time at all to get done, right? So yeah, that's the assignments for this week. Next week, I'll have one more video where we will talk about the final exam. We'll talk about the writing assignment, and we'll talk about the discussion forum. But as always, if you have any questions, please email me and let me know. I am on campus this week for week 8. I will be on campus. I'm not on campus Monday, but I'll be on campus Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll be back very soon with our final video for English 109. Bye.